Hello guys, it's Cal from OmnipotentGrowth.com. I'm very excited to be back and I want to welcome you into my new show, which is called Armwrestling Mastery. To put it short, as this is the first episode, I want to explain what this would be. So I wanted to create something like a podcast / Netflix for arm wrestling. I wanted to have a storyline, so we're going to discuss a lot of great topics that are related to arm wrestling. The reason that I want to do that is because I have three major pillars in my life. You know that for the past year I was kind of gone. This was because I went to executive MBA program. Now I'm a certified trainer and a coach, and I want to exclusively focus on three pillars. One is leadership, one is arm wrestling, and one is technological management. But you will have your show. I hope every Sunday you'll get a new episode of Arm Wrestling Mastery. So let's start with our first topic. I want to start with a big bang. I've been working on a lot of different concepts that I want to develop. One of them is the 5 disciplines of arm wrestling mastery. So in a way, to be a complete master in arm wrestling, to be fully rounded, to fully able to compete on a world-class level, or even in the later stages to coach people, to train people, you need to develop and work continuously on those 5 major pillars. The first pillar, and the thing that we cannot do without, is strength. So strength we can develop in different ways, but without strength everything else becomes obsolete. And I know that there are a lot of videos out there with, I don't know, hundreds of ways to train strength. This is a concept that I'm against. So my message here is arm wrestling is very difficult to understand, but it's very easy to train. So to train strength, you need to do either isometric or polymetric exercises, and it's best when you go into advanced level to focus on exercises that are joining your groups together, so you have more support groups acting out in one exercise. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to develop this topic in the time. I'm even creating a product at the moment which is related to how to train for arm wrestling, how to develop your own plans, etc. But everything with time. So now let's focus for this episode. Let's focus on what are the pillars, what are the disciplines that we want to master, and then together we are going to go deeper into them. The next discipline is endurance. So excuse my ugly writing, but I think it needed to be visual so you guys can absorb and focus on the stuff, because it's really important. I guess nobody made this holistic overview of what you need, so this is me, Cal, doing it for the first time. So why is endurance important? Endurance is the part in which you are up against a person that is close to your strength, and then you're either in a hook or either in a top row variation, but the game stops. And when the game stops, it's very important to be able to get this special 2 ounces of strength to be saved for the last hit that is going to finish the battle. So endurance helps you to prolong the game as much as you need, so your opponent wears out, gets gassed. Gassed means that he or she is out of air. And then when you feel the looseness and when you feel that your opponent has no more to hold upon, you can push this final hit to win the match. The next angle of endurance is that if you are more endurant, you need less time to recover between the matches when you're on a competition. So basically, you have a long match, then if you trained a lot for endurance, you can go into another long match in a few minutes, like let's say on the next round, on the next iteration of the championship, you'll be far more ready to go there than the opponent that trained only for strength, but then had one heavy match and then he was all done. The next important pillar is speed. What is the importance of speed? So as I explained in one of my videos, speed can be trained in two different ways, but in general you have the one isometric way that you are all intense and hit with all of your body and all of your forces at once, and the other one is going from a loose end to a completely intense and 100% impact on the hit. So what speed gives is that in competitions, the fastest you win, the better you are. Because when you have fast matches, sometimes your opponent cannot even make a good contact to his strength, so you kind of overpass this, like you miss the match by being fast. This helps a lot because, let's face it, it's difficult to do so in a vendetta when you're against one opponent, but then on a world championship, for example, you have 10 matches for the day, and if you skip 3 or 4 just because they are very fast and very concentrated and secure in your movement, it's great, because then when you find yourself in a semi-final with someone that is already been through hard fights, a slower fighter, very strong, but then you will have the advantage. So speed, it's a lot. It's not so easy to train, but it's teachable and it's trainable. The next big pillar is agility. So agility, now it's debatable how agile you can be when it goes to some certain styles of arm wrestling. But in agility, I put not only the tactics that you use, so how technically aware are you, but in agility I also put how well you know your surroundings around the table. So every shoulder movement, every grip retake, every leg behind the table, all of those are technical aspects, but they are also making you more agile when you know what is happening. Because if you have one composure and you see that your opponent is changing, if you are more agile, you can change also to be able to reflect on what your opponent is doing. We are going to get deeper in agility in the future, but for now this is a very important thing to know, that this is a big part of the game. And last but not least, a thing that is underestimated a lot, but I think that is one of the most important things when it comes to training, when it comes to resting, and when it comes to going on a competition. And this is mindset. So, why is mindset important? Because the things that you do through whole out the year when you're preparing for a competition are so important that you cannot overlook it. You can start from getting the motivation to train every day, to how to train, to what to vision when you train, to how to reflect on your progress when you train. Then it comes to when resting, where to focus, when competing, where to focus, how to compose your mindset, how to go out on the table with a clear mind, with a purpose and a goal, and not get distracted from everything, from referees, from your opponent, from the crowd, from thoughts about failures and so on. So to put it in a nutshell, there is a lot on mindset that can be done. So I can tell you, when the best competitions that I had were not in my best shape physically, but were in my best mind, let's say. So we're going to go deeper in that also for the future. For now, I want you to focus on those 5 because this is the foundation that we are going to explore in the future. I would love to have your questions in the comment section, so this will be a big input on our further discussions. This is it for today. It's Cal from OG and now from Arm Wrestling Mastery. It was nice to see you. See you next week.